All right, so Apple has been really interesting this last week. As we were tumbling, Apple was pushing higher. So let's just take a peek at the larger Big Pic and look at our monthly chart. So on our monthly, we definitely got our push. Finally, we were trying to get out of this little area for such a long time. We pushed higher, created an all-time high, and then we tumbled significantly. So Apple tends to get a push higher and then it comes back and it retests the zone that it just left. So you can see it happen over and over again. We got to push higher and then we pull back and we retest, right? And we retest and move sideways for months at a time before we finally get a push and move higher. So again, we stayed right through here for months. We finally got our push higher. We pulled back and test that zone again. So this definitely could be our several months moving up and down sideways, because that's typically historically what Apple shows us. What I'm looking at on the monthly right now is we pulled right back up here and we're kind of just sitting at this upper trend line, and actually that needs to come down. My bad. We broke through it and then we're still just kind of sitting on that trend line for now. So I'm curious to see if we're going to be able to hold right here or if we're going to come back and tumble from here. So watching again, this is a tricky area. This trend line is important. It's our monthly trend line. And if we can hold above it, we can actually push higher. But again, if we do, remember this is our sideways range. So we could come right back up to our all-time high again. Looking at the weekly chart, we got our W. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. We didn't quite make it back to the top, but we're close. So on the weekly, what I'm going to be watching is this 233 area. Again, you can see it really clear on the weekly as well. Here's our range that we stuck in for months, just chopping sideways. We pushed higher, we came right back down, and we're moving inside of that range again until the last couple weeks. We've pushed above here and we're holding above. So let's see if we can get some more continuation on up to that all-time high, or is it going to cause us to come right back down and test that lower trend line on the weekly chart. So looking at the daily chart, it's kind of interesting to see this area. We have a lot of really small candles, and I put these trend lines up because I kind of want to see where the areas are that we've had significant rejections. And if you look, this is kind of where we pushed above here, but we couldn't hold. We pulled right back down. We got just a few days above and then we tumbled hard. We retested this area again and couldn't hold, and then dropped significantly, right? So then we look over here, same thing. We pushed up into this little range right through here and we rejected really big once again. So look where we're at. We've actually tapped all three of these ranges on Friday and then we couldn't hold. So we could get that significant tumble yet again, because this is that rejection zone for Apple. So we need to clear it. We need to get above that 249, 250 area and hold in order to get past it. If we don't, this is definitely going to be setting up right here where we could just get that significant tumble to the downside through here. So definitely watching that. And then looking at a different view on our daily, you can kind of see that W right through here without all the choppy trend lines. I know it can get difficult to see, but this is definitely an area we were watching for a breakout, and you can see that we clearly got that breakout. But what happened is we just barely broke out and we're going sideways. So let's see if we pull back and test this daily trend line and then hold. If that retest holds and we get continuation, or if we tumble and fall right back inside underneath that daily trend line. So tricky area for Apple, and remember, Apple can move the market. So let's see where Apple takes us the next couple weeks.